Good. Next, we have Dripstore for NWU students. And then, as I mentioned in every video, I don't even look at the business, the details, because when I read your answers, I want to see exactly if it shines through, if I can put it that way, if it shows that, yeah, this is definitely for your store. 7.1, level of service. Immediately when I see this type of answer, when you get to the test, it's not incorrect. It's just when you get to the test, first identify the level of service. You start with either it's low, medium, high. So if I see here, often interact with our customers and we use online services as well. So this would be medium. So you start medium and you say, well, customers can use the online service to make payments and do their orders. They only have to be in store to collect that. So there's some interaction, or someone third party delivers it to them. It's never really going to be high unless they have to come into the shop for fitting to make sure everything fits well, and then they pay and leave. Also, a low level would be if your service is strictly order online, pay online, PUDO collection. Then there's no human interaction. Then we have contact types, same here. What's the main one? Customer visits the service organization visits the customer, or delivery at arm's length, which is easier to explain it as digital or electronically. Here I see delivers to our customer. So you first need to say service organization, which is Dripstore, visits the customer to deliver their orders, which could be shoes, hoodies, whatever. So if they collect in store, then that would be customer visiting the service organization. 7.2, here we have timing, duration, and payment. Okay, makes sense what you say. For timing, also consider operating hours. So it would be from, let's say, 9 till 4. Those are your operating hours. Do you offer after or before service support? So if a customer or a student has a query on specific pricing, then pretend this is a WhatsApp or a chatbot, and then do you have access to that? Is there timing? Is there service available after your closing time, your operating time? With duration, I like seeing figures in here, so I think you're only the second or third group that has this correct. 7 days, which is a week. Okay, so you say they will always get their products after 7 days. What you can also mention here is if they have a bulk order, the service delivery might take up to 2 weeks. If you have it in stock, that would have an impact. If they are fitting a pair of pants, it would take like 5 minutes. But this would be good for an answer in the test. Payment. Fine. The main thing you need to distinguish here is the considerations. In other words, not the payment types, but rather, do they need to make a payment before? Do they make a payment after, or do they make a payment before and after? Usually with bulk orders, so if a student has a massive order and he wants to resell, let's say, Dripstore caps, then they want 20. But then, of course, for you to secure this order, you request a deposit of 50%. So that's payment before, and the rest of the 50% would be after they receive the goods, the hats. So just consider the case study in the test, and it must be between those three: before, after, or before and after, before, during, and after. Then 7.3, oh, you take a lot, that's cool. Same for this type of answers. When you get to the test, explain or mention the main advantage. So if I say vast array of products, it would be extensive variety. That would be the phrase, and then you explain. Because when you look at the mark allocation, you will get half a mark for your main advantage, and then you discuss for application. So that would be then 3 marks, half, half, 1. Half, half, 1. It offers convenience, customer convenience. So that would be the main heading. And then you would say it is a user-friendly, easy to follow process on their app. You can keep track of your delivery, estimated delivery time, easy purchase of items through various payment options in the comfort of your home. So remember, this is correct. Just remember your main advantage and disadvantage. Competitive pricing. So again, start with competitive pricing, because Takealot really has steep competition now with Shein and Temu and other online shops. So Takealot sells a lot of products that our big retailers do, like Game, Macro, Incredible Connection, Hi-Fi Corp. So it's a lot of competition in that sense. This is not incorrect, right? So I've had the same issue here. I have had 5 orders being sent, 4 or 5 incorrect items being sent. We need a name for this advantage. We need an umbrella term. So in this instance, you will get your full mark, but you won't get that half mark for the main disadvantage. Good reasoning, just to kudos you on that. Service culture. I like this. I think this is literally the second one that's really up to everything that you should have touched on. So the who, what, when, where, how. So good on that. With organizational requirements, and this is literally in every video, go back to organizational structures, an organogram. Just Google that if you're not sure, but this is from B-Man, so your different structures. So you have the drip store, let's say CEO or owner, then we got the store manager, we got the marketing department, finance department, we've got perhaps the designer, if you design your own clothes, and then we also have the person working, the salesperson. Say, if you just draw that for me, then you'll get all of your marks, but applied to the case study. Management requirements. So you have your managerial role here. So each role to perform the leads to the success of the business. So you don't have to provide this excess information. Just tell me the marketing director needs to make sure they lead their team so that they complete the required tasks, like customer recruitment through developing the latest shoes and apparel available, and then they need to make sure it gets to the target population with the students in time, and they need to be ensure a conducive environment so that their marketing team remains creative and really wants to exceed their role. Something about leadership. What, in your opinion, for that business would be the ideal leadership examples? Because leadership is then linked to management. Okay, first sentence, need to be properly trained to provide best customer service, such as communication skills, knowledge about your products. So, for example, if someone is really complicated and they want to know what's the ratio of polyester and cotton, and then the person selling the products needs to make sure they know how to answer that. So if they don't have it offhand, they need to be able to think on their feet. That is a knowledgeable, or that's an attitudinal requirement, a skill, where they would say, no, let's check the label, and then the label will specify that. Attitude, the salesperson would need to be energetic, they need to have good communication skills, and obviously knowledge of the product. So just be a bit more practical. Just want to check, okay, let's do 8.2 first. So very basic triangle. Just keep in mind that if we ask you to draw a practical one in the test, drip store would be fine. Employees would be, let's say, the sales rep, the marketing specialist, the person with coming up with the latest designs for the drip brand. So customers would be students looking for the latest and unique designs, and that's whatever you sell. It's a bit late. You get what I'm saying. Then let's start with external marketing, or let's just start with your answers. I just want to quickly check something. So as is, this will not be sufficient to get all of your marks. Okay, so you need to make sure you have applicable practical examples for each one. We went through drip store, employees, and customers right now. Let's start with external because that's always the starting point, which is the easiest. Dripstore offers customers with a guaranteed, sustainably sourced 100% cotton apparel that is customizable. I'm just spitballing here. Customizable to their unique style and design. That's what they promise. External marketing. With internal marketing, the Dripstore needs to make sure the employees are exactly aware of what was promised and make sure they can take customers' orders to make sure it is unique. They need to be able to design what they want. They need to provide them with the sizes and whatnot. And then they would be enabling, the Dripstore management needs to enable the employees to be able to do that. From the employees to the customers, the salesperson or such will interact with the customer, so they are collecting their order to make sure it is the correct order that they place, or when it's a first time consultation, that the employee understands exactly what the customer wants based on the promise that they made. So if the employee doesn't know it's actually customizable and they tell the customer to go away, they don't do it, then all of this will fall apart. So whatever I just said, maybe just consider listening to it again and check your answers. Then we get to your last one. Hiring the right people. Check. I'm looking for practical experience here. So if you are designing your own, which I don't have confirmation of, I didn't read. If you have people in-house design, so you do customized drip designs for your customers, or you have your own line where you have once-off limited edition releases every month. You kind of need someone with design background, with experience in design. They need to know how to work these programs like CorelDRAW or can't remember the other one now, but how that works. So, of course, that would make sure that you provide high quality of service. You need someone that can source 100% only cotton shirts, because that would be a bit more expensive than combined with polyester. You need to make sure those people have that. When you get to the test, consider the case study, what they offer, and then link that to the type of employee they would need. Lava Fashion is a very good example. The customer focused attitude is good. So the first kind of application or practical example is the love of fashion. So just make sure when you get to the test to provide really on-point practical examples related to that case study. Through training. So even if you say Dripstore has to spend money on extensive training course, but what? Designing programs, whatever that may be. When you get to the test, think of, maybe it's hidden in the text, but just think out of the box and say, okay, well, this is kind of the training they can go through to, and you don't have to go into the core as much. So you can just say with salespeople, they need to have knowledge of the core latest promotions, and then they need to go for training on how to improve their sales skills. Let's say that, so that they can sell more limited edition products. Your product knowledge, but what product knowledge? So let's say the composition of the materials. Yeah, problem solving abilities. So if someone's not happy with their design, they need to do conflict resolution. Just that, taking it a little bit further just for that practical.